right. So y'all, this is gonna be another one of those Pitiful Peter Productions in my car, driving. And so today I wanted to talk about how like how many signs we need before we really step into our calling or step into our purpose. How much does Source have to take away from us for us to get like the point? And I say that because y'all, I was guilty of it, okay? I was guilty of it. I ran from my calling like so much before I like really got into it. I ran from it so much because I just did not want to deal with other people's problems. And I know it's like, oh man, that's jacked up to say, but that's how it was. Like, y'all, I was living my best life, okay? I was young, I retired out of the military, I landed me a corporate job, I'm making good money, you know, my family good, I'm good, we doing good. And I'm like, I don't want to pay attention to these messages that I'm receiving. I don't want to do none of this stuff. I don't want to deal with other people's problems. Source was just plucking at me. Like, look, I got this assignment for you. You need to do it. And then every time I got that little download, I'm like, nope, that ain't it. That's not it. Right? And so, although I've been spiritual for a very long time, like people always used to come asking about astrology and asking me about girls that they dating or guys that they're dating and what does this mean and that mean and what zodiac match with this, all that different stuff, and what are you feeling about this. Like, I'll do it for my friends and people that came around, but I was not giving no messages, no guidance, no nothing to nobody else, right? And so I remember when we got here and I was still trying to run from my calling, y'all, trying to transfer and have me a job in corporate America because that money was real nice, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. I gotta, you know, get me a federal job, or land me a government or a corporate job. It didn't matter which one, you know. And so, y'all, I freaking went blind, y'all. I went blind. Source took my eyesight, y'all. And guess what? Only one of these eyes work to this day. Now, I done had PRK, like all that, so that I can have perfect vision, so that I can avoid any eye problems. And Source took my eyesight, y'all. And I had no choice but to sit down. Y'all hear me? I had to sit down. And I had to become comfortable with myself. I had to become one with myself, become comfortable with myself, become used to being with myself. Right? And that's an uncomfortable feeling when you don't know yourself. And now you gotta find yourself. It's like you have an understanding of who you are, but you're like, now you're forced to figure out who you are because now you're forced to deal with yourself, right? So that's what happened, y'all. Source took my eyesight. But when they took my eyesight, y'all, they gave me a sight so powerful that I didn't even expect. Like, the sight that I have now goes far beyond 2020. It goes far beyond anything else, you know? And so, how much does Source have to take from you in order for you to really step up and do what you got to do. And I don't want you to look at the stuff that Source takes as a bad thing either, y'all, because Source be moving things out of the way. Source take things like, the Creator be taking stuff that you don't even know you need took. You know, like, I know some of y'all done seen it where y'all be like, you know, oh, please remove all my enemies, or please remove people that don't serve me, or get anything out of my way that don't belong here. And then you notice that they Source remove your friends, then your whoever you was with is gone, like, and then you sad because you're like, oh, you know, you forgot that prayer, or that whatever it is that you asked Source to do, whatever you ask your team to do, whoever you holler at, whatever you ask them to do, you forgot that you asked them to do that. And then now all these things start shifting and disrupting in your life, and you're like, oh no, why is this happening? And it's like Source just, all this stuff is happening because it ain't supposed to be there, and all this stuff was a distraction for you, and now you ain't got no more distractions. So what more do you need to know in order for you to start walking in your purpose? So that's what they do, y'all. When you asking your team and you asking Source and all of them for stuff, and you want to connect with your higher self, like, all right, well, here's what you got to pay in order to connect, right? So you lose some things. You lose friends. You lose jobs. You lose your car. You lose your sight. You lose a limb. You know, you start losing things. Things start getting messed up. Your relationships become disrupted. Friendships. Disruption just begin to happen. You know what I'm saying? And then you go through this period of disruption, and you make all these promises, and then you, guess what? Go back to doing the same thing again. So guess what Source got to do again? Got to disrupt some stuff. And I know Source, I know Spirit Team, they be out there like, God, how many times I got to mess this up for this person to get it? Because I'm going to tell you, Source messed up. I used to think like that my life was a parody, because there were so many things that they would mess up, and I never got it. I never got the point. I was just so naive to what was going on. I was just like, all right, cool. You know? I was just so naive to what was going on. Now that I think about it, it's just like, they messed up a lot of things. And every time they mess something up, here I go trying to fix it, trying to mend it, trying to put it back together again. They ain't meant to be put back together. You know, and then they move these things out so the right things could come along so that you can get into position. Okay? Because I don't know if y'all see them cars, when the cars fall and they be like, old thing must die. Yeah, it gotta die. You know? The leaves don't stay green on the trees all season. Because they have to die. And more little seeds or whatever drop. And then other things sprout from them seeds, and then they grow, and then the other ones continue to grow. It's like, that's like their process that they have to go through. So the same thing with us. We got a lot of things have to die. A lot of things have to die out in our lives, have to be removed from our lives. Look at that car. This car is just, this car was, that person was in such a hurry that they were willing to risk their life for wherever they was going. They were in such a hurry. But yeah, things have to die out, right? In order to make room for other things. Some things have to get moved out of the way in order for you to have room for other things. So how many physical losses are you going to have to go through before you get the lesson How many physical losses are you gonna have to go through before you get the lesson? And that's a question that now is coming to my forefront, because I'm like, oh, all of those L's I took, I didn't even have to take all of them. Because now, y'all, now I sit back, and now that I'm on my path, I already make double of that abundance that I made at that corporate job. And it didn't take that long. It just took me committing to what I had to commit to. And I'm taken care of. And my team comes through. My ancestors come through. My guides come through. Source come through. And they always provide. In the beginning, though, I still was a little, you know. Because that's how I be. You be like a little concerned about, like, oh, what if this don't happen, what if that don't happen. When they say you gotta trust that beliefs that you just have to believe, hey, they did not lie to you. You just gotta believe. Because now that I am a believer of all these things and what you can accomplish once you get on your path, it's like nothing stopping me from doing this. You know, it's like nothing stopping me from doing this. So y'all, them losses that y'all experiencing, them losses is just for spiritual gain. You might be going through a physical loss right now. The world went through a physical loss, right? And when they went through this physical loss, y'all, so many people gained so much. These big corporations went down, y'all, and it made an opportunity for small businesses to just come on up through there and thrive. Yeah. So although this might be a time where a lot of people are experiencing some lows, you know, this is a high time for people like us. This is the perfect time for people like us. Alright? Perfect time for people like us to do what it is that we have to do to fulfill whatever it is that we have to fulfill, you know? And we're gonna be in there like gray hair, y'all. Because so many people don't even know it's a pandemic, because they're thriving so well because they're walking in their purpose. So don't look at these losses as something negative. Look at it as a blessing from your creator, from the creator. Look at it as a blessing. Don't look at it as a curse. All right, look at these losses, look at the things that are being moved out of your life as a blessing. Okay, so that's it. We're going to experience losses. How many losses are you going to experience before you decide that you're going to get on your path and start walking in your purpose? And listen, it don't matter if your friend or your family, they don't rock with the idea that comes in your head. It's not their ideas. Source didn't give it to them, they gave it to you. I don't never ask my friends what they think about this. I do it, then ask them what they think about it. Because I might go ask my friend, like, hey, what you think about this? And my friend might say, oh, I don't like that. That's not good. And then they tell me it ain't good. Then I'm going to go change it. When that was my download, that wasn't their download. So don't even do that. Just do what you got to do. Do what you got to do first before you share it with anybody. because they'll talk you up out of your vision. They'll talk you up out of your blessing. They'll talk you up out of all of it. So please do what you gotta do first before you share with anybody. But y'all, look at these losses as a blessing. If you lost your job during this time, guess what? It's time for you to create your own job. Create a job for yourself. Create a job for the people. You know what I'm saying? You be the CEO of that business. Create that business for yourself. If you lost, significant others, all right, during that time, hey, now it's time for you to gain something for yourself. Gain whatever it is that you've been looking to gain. Gain that self-worth. Gain that self-love. Gain that new perspective. Whatever it is. You're losing family members. Some of us are losing family members. Been called into a purpose involving certain things such as transition. Like, y'all hearing them spirits? Hey, if you hearing spirits, 9 times out of 10, you're not hearing them for no reason. They're coming to you for a reason because you can hear them, okay? And so you losing family members all around. Now they coming up in your dreams and they showing up in your house and you like, what in the world is going on? Why am I dreaming about this person? Why is this person in my house? It's because you ain't doing what you're supposed to do, and you know what it is that you're supposed to do because you've been feeling this way since you was a kid. And because some other people didn't align with what you were seeing as a child, you keep pushing it off because they got you thinking that is crazy. And it's not crazy. You have a calling. You have a purpose. We all have a purpose, but it's up to us to figure out what those purposes are. All right? And a lot of these things are happening because they're designed to happen. They're designed to happen this way because it's trying to push us into the direction that we're trying to go. Which is why some of us experience so many losses, because like, okay, now I got to mess this up again, get this person off to themselves so they can do what I want them to do. Then you go find another crowd because them friends didn't work out. No, they want you to go and do what you got to do. But I ain't going to be no dead horse, y'all. Whoever this message was for, they got the message. All right? So I'm about to go drop these herbs off so that they can get shipped out today. And I'll holler at y'all. Peace.